So today in this video I would like to talk about the 5 red flags of pseudoscience. Of course, before I explain this, I have to explain a little bit of what pseudoscience actually is. And we're going to start off with this picture over here. That's a nice looking crystal, but some people do not only like crystals because they look beautiful or because of their jewelry appeal. You can make jewelry out of those, but actually some people like those crystals because they claim that they have certain healing powers. So it goes a little bit into the direction of alternative medicine, and that is a so-called a pseudoscience, and I need to explain what this actually is, and then the 5 red flags that I kind of promised you here. What is pseudoscience are those claims and statements or disciplines that claim to be scientific, but actually they're not. For example, the healing power of crystals is claimed to be scientifically proven. Actually, it's not. It does not adhere to the standards of science. And when you're now going online and when you're looking for products that claim to have certain health benefits, then sometimes for people who don't know, it can be sometimes a little bit difficult to distinguish if it's just some kind of a pseudoscientific fabrication, as I would like to say, or whether there is something really behind it. And I would like to give you now those 5 points, which serve as a little bit like kind of red flags concerning pseudoscience. And the first one is the use of scientific words which actually don't have a lot of meaning. I'll give you some examples. Very often you can hear buzzwords like quantum energy, right, or energy fields. A lot of energy. So I always become very suspicious when the word energy is overused, or natural. Something is very natural with natural energy and natural frequencies, quantum natural energy fields, and I don't know, if these words start to appear, chances are pretty good that we're dealing with pseudoscience here, because you have to ask yourself, do you even understand what they mean when they say, well, it has a positive effect on your energy? What does this even mean? It means nothing. These are just empty words, and that's the first warning sign, the first red flag. But we can continue over here. Pseudoscience also relies a lot on personal anecdotes and not on scientific studies. This means that there are lots of testimonials. A certain product which apparently helped a specific person to feel better. It is, and sometimes because for legal reasons they're not allowed to say that a certain product actually helps. Those crystals, they cannot cure cancer, right? So you're not allowed to make that claim, but you can actually say it has been reported that those crystals make you feel better, right? So you see, it's a very careful way of wording it. So essentially that you're not allowed to make medical claims. Because it's not a medically tested product, and in order to avoid legal problems, you have this anecdotal evidence where individual people claim that they started to feel better because of that. So it's very vague, and there is no large study behind it, and of course there is no study behind it because it's not a medical product. It's already known that it's not going to work in the scientific community. So the next point here, other claims like, it's kind of a secret and there's a conspiracy. They don't want you to know that. The big pharma is against it because otherwise they're going to lose a lot of money. Or doctors, they don't want you to know this either. And for this reason, pseudoscience sometimes or often turns criticism into a conspiracy. So if you're criticizing this, that this doesn't work, there is no scientific evidence for this, then immediately it's going to be criticized. Are you also part of a conspiracy here? And that's another red flag. And the last red flag is it's not falsifiable. And I need to explain this a little bit. In the sciences, if there's evidence of the contrary, then you always have to change your theory or your view to fit the evidence. So if there is evidence that a certain medication does not work, and because you've done a certain study on that, what you do is you throw away the medication, and then you come to the conclusion the medication does not work. You change your view on the medication. However, in the field of pseudoscience, the view is always maintained. So, for example, if these crystals don't work, then it was your fault because you have not taken them long enough, or you have not taken them properly, or you did not believe enough in those crystals. Yeah, but the pseudoscientific statement or claim is always maintained. Yeah, actually, you have to say, well, this crystal is not able to heal depression or whatever, right? Then no, then it's not going to work. That would be the scientific approach. But no. You have not been using it long enough. You have not been leaving long. Yeah, you see what I mean? You always try to maintain the pseudoscientific statement or claim, and that is a big red flag, and it's also contrary to scientific thinking as such, because in the sciences, if there is new evidence, you have to change the theory around, and this is what scientists actually do. This is something what the public sometimes perceives a little bit, I would say, the wrong way, because when scientists change their views on certain issues when new evidence comes, then that is considered scientific progress. But many people in the public will consider this as a negative thing. The scientists, they don't even know what they're doing, right? They always keep on changing their mind. And I'm saying, well, of course, yeah, because that is scientific progress. Yeah, with new evidence, you basically adapt the theories to fit the new evidence, and that is scientific thinking. And this is not something that happens in pseudoscience. So I hope that I clarified a few points here. I wish you all the best, and bye bye.